Okay, so what is your name?
My name's Dave.
Okay, and what brought you down to Occupy Louisville?
I wanted to see what kind of turnout there was out here, see if, a lot of people gathered out for the cause.
And how long have you been coming down?
This is my first day.
Oh, okay. Do you plan on spending the night?
Maybe, maybe not. I live in this town, so I can be up here anytime I need to be.
Okay.
I definitely plan on coming out a lot more.
Okay.
It's just the first chance I've had to come up here.
And what are some of the issues that you're hoping to see kind of come out of the movement, or what are some of the issues that you think are problems?
There's no shortage of issues, that this movement addresses. Everybody comes out for a different reason. Everybody has different problems in their life, and most of the time they get no help from the organizations that are supposed to be helping them, and so it's a pretty, what's the word I'm looking for? It's a pretty widespread, movement.
So
I'm not as great with words sometimes as I could be.
That's all right. It's just people. So with all those different issues, do you have a sense that there's a systemic cause, kind of a systemic problem, or is there something?
A main issue?
Is there a main issue that creates these other problems?
Yes, I think the biggest issue would definitely be the central banking system. And how much them corporations control, the whole financial institution of our country, and of the whole world, really. Banks and corporations own everything, pretty much, almost everything, and anything they don't own, they want to own, and they make it their goal to own. They want everybody to be, part of their system, whether it's a good system or not. They just want to rule everything and everybody, and, they want everybody to just lay down and be okay with it.
Do you feel that the government, especially the federal government, because that's so much in the news, but really city and state also, do you feel that government is working for the people?
No. The government is working for the interest of the banks and the corporations.
What about local government? Do you feel the same way about
local government? Well, it's different everywhere you go. Louisville has a pretty good local system of government. But it's not like there's no issues. But it's really different everywhere you go. Some cities are put together better than others. I don't think Louisville has too much of a problem with people coming out and organizing and gathering, but in other places like what happened in Boston, it's just not right. What's going on in Wall Street mainly, it's just not right what's going on up there. People have their constitutional rights, that are being violated. They should be able to come out and protest at any time for any reason, anywhere.
Give a sense for how people coming together like this becomes political change. How does it get converted into a better...
Well, really, it's all about more and more people coming out. The more people you have gathered and, working this out, speaking their minds and talking about change, the more it comes together and the better a plan develops. If you don't have very many people coming out to an event, you're not going to get much coverage. You're not going to get as many ideas, laid out as you could get. It's really all about people coming together and working together. United we stand, divided we fall. And the system of government and the banks and the corporations, their goal is to further divide us, keep us disagreeing with each other so we cannot have that solidarity that is their biggest enemy. When the people come together and demand change, that's when change really happens. But as the media blackout isn't covering, most of the main protests that are going on across the country and all over the world, most people just don't even know that this is happening. They don't know that they have the ability to create change. They feel small, they feel insignificant, and, that's exactly what, the government and the corporations and the banking system want you to feel.
Can we get it back?
We can always get it back. We can always come together and fight for change. Sometimes it takes a while, sometimes we're not sure exactly how to do it. I feel like, the Occupy Wall Street and the occupations all over the country, they're pretty thinly spread, it's just started, so it's just now developing. And as time goes on, it'll develop into a more solid solution.
You said it was your first day down here, right?
It's my first day down at this occupation, yes.
Okay. So I particularly wanted to ask you, how did you find the people who were already here? In terms of, were they welcoming?
Oh, the people here?
Yeah.
Oh, I've just been, walking around, talking to people, exchanging ideas. Nobody's unwelcoming.
One of the things I've been talking to a couple of people about is in the very beginning of the movement on Wall Street, it seemed like people were brought together out of economic frustration, corporate influence in government, a sense of not being heard, not being paid attention to, and that kind of brought them together. And then the realities of a group of thousands of people trying to figure out how to get along kind of drove them into the direct democracy thing. The direct democracy that grew out of that itself proved to be of interest to some other people who are kind of a subset with their own thing going on. And I find a mixture of people who are involved in the movement because of their original, what made people angry in the first place. Other people who are interested in the mechanics of the movement. And I'm wondering if you have a sense of where it's at today. Is it in a place where the general public or other people who are affected by these issues are going to be comfortable coming down? Do you feel that they would be welcomed by the people that you've met?
Absolutely. I mean, I feel like anybody could come down here, and express, their beliefs, their opinions, their issues, and, what they feel like we could do about it. It's an open forum. Anybody can come down with any problem, and even if they don't know exactly what to do about it, that's why we're here. We're here to figure it out. And it's moving forward. It may be a slow process, but it's better than no process. It's happening because this has just been going on and on and on and getting worse and worse and worse, and nobody seems to be doing anything about it. So, I mean, all we can really do is come together and just try and figure it out together. Because, I mean, if we rely too heavily on the system to figure things out for us, they're just going to keep perpetuating the cycle. It's all about the people figuring it out. When the people come together and discuss their ideas in an open forum without, closed-off dialogue like the mainstream media provides, then that's the only way progression and change really happen.
Great. Well, I appreciate your time. Anything else you would want to add about any issues that are important to you at all?
Don't be afraid. Speak out. Stand up.
All right.
Be heard. Don't just be one more affected person. Don't let the government and the system in general rule your life. You have as much ability to create change as anybody. It's all about the gathering of individuals. We're all different. We all have a different life. We all have different problems and issues. We all have to figure it out together.